putting a lot of work into this website. So he's introduced ratings, he's introduced other variants like Kappa House and S-Chess and S-Chess House, so Serowan Chess. So this is the place if you want to play Serowan Chess or Kappa House, which is like Crazyhouse but with Serowan pieces. Yes, no, so it is a good question. So on Lichess, there's a guy called Andreijl,
Check.
Andreijl, and in his studies he started making studies of all the 960 starting positions in Crazyhouse. Oh, Black resigned. I see. He just said I didn't have anything, and he's down material. And what's fun about that is you can then go into that study and get someone else into that study and play a game with someone in that study. Actually, technically, one of them, yeah, you need to be contributors to a study. But okay, so you can take the study, clone it, both be contributors to a study, and then play games within the study. And I've done that a few games with him on Lichess, so playing within Lichess studies, because the study syncs up. And this is before this website existed, obviously. So, and then you can just straight away analyze your game afterwards. And yeah, a lot of the initial positions are much closer to 0-0 than the normal standard Crazyhouse position, because I guess the pieces are a bit more awkward in a way. So in a Lichess study, you can in the fen it lets you know whether you can castle or not. So the way you encode a position, you have a position, and then you say whether both sides have castling rights. So yeah, within the study, it knows that both sides have castling rights in the initial position. So what would destroy castling rights is if you took the normal standard position and then played some moves to get to a 960 position. Then that would lose your castling rights. So that's why you can't, from a normal Crazyhouse starting position, get to a 960 starting position. It's because of this issue of castling rights. So that does cause trouble. Okay, so interesting how Black has got out his queen, by the way, in this position. It's taken 2 moves, but I don't know. It's quite a good position for the queen compared to, if you compare the positions of the queens, Black's queen is clearly better. And one has to wonder, what has White been doing in the meantime? I mean, he's pushed some pawns. This is probably a little bit of a weakness in the long term. It's quite difficult to see how to fix it. At the moment, it's defended twice, so it's not a weakness in the current position. But in the long term, this is a sort of structural weakness that it's very difficult to see how you fix it. Because if you ever push this pawn, then this becomes a weakness. Meanwhile, in Black's position, this square here is a weakness. Okay, so that's an interesting way of fixing it. Just dump the bishop on this square. Good sort of. It was already doubled protected, but it's like extra reinforcement. So if ever the bishop's attacked, there'll always be a white piece on this square it's trying to control. PKR says, I feel like the black queen will get harassed before being super helpful. Ooh, pawn dropped. So yes, there are these dangers. For the moment, it's covered, but okay, I think that pawn drop was a miss, wasn't it? Let's see. Let's just whoa. Okay, things just kicked off. So takes, maybe queen takes was better, or bishop takes, but knight takes opened this up. Oh, whoa, 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 wait a second. So the idea is, why can't I take that queen? Because then I've got knight here, check, and knight takes rook. But he's got a rook as well. But maybe the rook is dangerous. So, I mean, nice move, but hang on. Pawn takes queen, knight takes queen. I mean, king here is forced. Knight takes rook, check, run. Rook here, check. Here. Yeah, not so pleasant actually. So that you're winning the rook with check is the problem. Oh, this is very unpleasant. But maybe he thinks he can run to here. Not much to think about here, is there? No, I mean, what's there to think about?
Check.
Pawn here, you just go rook takes. It wouldn't be an issue. So knight takes rook.
Check.
And he runs. I expect rook here. What else could he do? He could put the knight back, but the king is running, so rook here to control all the squares. I mean, this is going to be the key square. Oh, okay, pawn there. Okay, that is a nice move. PKR says, I guess it won't get harassed after all. No, it was a good one. I mean, if you just think of the trajectory of that queen, that was fun. Okay, so he's going for some more material. So he's just saying, which is okay. So there's a slight. This is quite good actually, because pawn takes rook is, you don't want king takes because then there's pawn here check. So you'd have to go queen takes. So I'm thinking, why can't the white just pick up material himself? And I think it's because after pawn takes rook, queen takes. You could probably even just repeat. And the bishop takes pawn is not. Is it a threat? So that's what white has to consider: is whose attack is faster. And I've made also. So the arrows, I can't remove the arrows from the board without kind of clicking out of the position, unlike in lichess. Yeah, so whose attack is faster? That's the question. And the other problem with taking this rook is white will no longer be defending this key diagonal. Oh, I did not expect that. I did not expect that. But
check.
Huh. Did he want knight, maybe? Not sure. And is king takes bishop dangerous? Let's see. It was pawns and rooks. So you could put pawn, pawn, and then potentially maybe a queen here, and then the bishop and knight actually stopping the king running back, and the queen could stop the king running back. So it looks very hairy,
check.
actually. If this is fine, just block here. Seems fine. So at some point, I think black is going to get an attack in with a pawn, a knight, and a rook. And what will that attack look like? Oh my goodness, he's letting the queen. Oh, this can't be correct. You can't let the queen. You can't let the queen stay on the board. Just
check. Check.
Trying to get the queen with check. Very nice move. Knight takes queen, comes with check.
Check.
Yep. And
check.
It wants. It's only got pawns and queens, but okay. And resigned. So why it's resigned? Because. Whoa. So someone else is playing.
Check.
Okay, so that did not work out. So what's the mate? That's not the correct position. Okay, I just lost Jasugi99. White resigned. Okay, so what's the mate? Without looking, and it is shown on the screen, but let's do it without looking. So if we go here, queen here is checkmate. If we go here, queen here, and queen here is checkmate. So king takes is forced. Now what? Now I'm thinking queen here maybe, but then the king comes back. And something like queen here and queen takes here. Okay, that would work. But there's better. Okay, so king takes g3, queen at g1 check, with the idea that so blocking off all these squares, and then the other queen coming, or pawn or queen here will be checkmate. So rook takes queen, queen takes rook, blocks, and pawn here is checkmate. Okay, that's very pretty. Oh, hi there, Catask. He says, tough, tough. Queen takes c3, super move. Even Engine says it's not bad. Yes, well played. That was fun. So let's we can play through the game. I like the way. I don't know why it's still stuck on. Maybe if I just refresh this game. Trying to make sure it doesn't. It's not, okay, it's still stuck on the. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I really like the way Black develops. Catask develops his queen here. D5. Yeah, and I feel like D3 is a big problem. For white in the long term, not in the short term, just in the. Okay, so I was very confused by knight takes here, because why not bishop takes, or. But knight takes, I guess it's because of this idea. Queen takes, it's not bad. It says rook a8 maybe as well, but it's pretty good. And pawn at b2, definitely don't take this queen. And if you take this queen, oh, you're completely losing. King just doesn't have squares to go to, is the problem. And pawn at d2, again, nice find. I was thinking rook at d2 and all kinds of other things. Pawn at d2, good move. Again, I think he probably wanted to take to become a knight, but there might have been some kind of pre-move issue there. Or maybe he did intend this. King d7 again, so really well played from Catask this game, just playing all the ace moves. King f1, rook f2. This is just awesome from Catask. Just played every single. Just played all the top engine moves. Let's go, unbeatable. Again, because even here I was thinking I didn't even see knight f4. I was thinking of other things like rook here and stuff. But obviously knight f4 is awesome because you're going to win the queen with check. That's how you win the game. Brilliant.